Hi, my name is Shelomo Solson, founder of Purpose Creates Impact, host of the Teenage Impact podcast, where you will find inspiration to get over your struggles as a teenage kid. I was bullied, had anxiety, depression, had friends pass away, and battled confidence issues for a majority of my life. Whether you have the same issues as me, feel lonely, face challenges in your home or in school, I'm going to be interviewing people who overcame these struggles and provide you with tips on how you can overcome yours. By the end of this episode, I want you to rate and comment on what you think of the podcast. This will allow the podcast to be ranked higher and serve more teenagers. Welcome to the third episode of the Teenage Impact Podcast. This is your host, Shelomo Solson, founder and president of Purpose Creates Impact. Today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about how I was super shy when talking to girls. Yes, me. People who meet me now say I'm an extrovert. I'm the social guy that can talk to anyone on airplanes, at networking events, at restaurants, at bars. But that wasn't the case when I was in middle school and high school. In fact, my first kiss wasn't until the summer before college. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to talk to girls. I didn't know one thing about talking to a girl. So many people would give me advice, but it was just hopeless because I thought no girl would ever like me. I thought I was ugly. I thought people didn't like my accent. I thought because I got bullied that girls wouldn't like someone who always got picked on. But guess what? It doesn't matter because what girls love is a boy or a man with confidence. Let me tell you my story. I was a shy and super awkward little kid. Had glasses, especially in elementary, middle school. High school, I got contacts. Parents picked out my clothes up until 8th or ninth grade. I had no idea about any of the female body parts. I had no idea what any of the sexual terms meant, even though I was in sex ed class and they did teach you all of that kind of stuff. I did have some of my guy friends or my guy friends teach me on certain things. I was so clueless that when I was in middle school, I would see boys and girls hold hands. Even in elementary school, I actually started in the third grade, fourth grade, where I saw boys and girls hold hands. Even in fifth grade, there was this game going on where between boys and girls, they would receive certain amount of points if they grab the other person's body part. I had no fantasies of that whatsoever in elementary school. Middle school, I had no idea what I was doing. In high school, I wanted to be that person, but I just didn't believe I could. It started in the fifth grade, where one of my first crushes, I think her name was Francesca or something like that. And I told one of my good friends I had a crush on her. What did my friend do? My friend told that girl that I had a crush on her. She approached me in the playground in fifth grade. And what she told me was, Shlomo, I would never go after someone like you. You're gross. And I thought to myself that no girl would ever like me because that one girl rejected me in fifth grade and told me no girl would ever go after me, I thought no girl would ever go after me. That stuck to my head for a long time. In middle school, I had some guy friends that would tell me, that would make fun of me because I've never had a girlfriend. I've never seen girl body parts. And I had this friend that showed me a picture on his phone of a lady body part and would make fun of me and said, haha, I bet you've never seen one of these before. I was in seventh grade. Now that look back at it, I thought that was really foolish because if you're a seventh grader that's doing that kind of stuff, I, I honestly think that's too young. But to each their own. But looking back at it, I thought I thought that was very stupid of another seventh grader being made fun of because he's never seen a lady body part before. I would ask some of my guy friends on what to say to girls, and they would kind of tell me to tell other girls inappropriate things. And I didn't specifically know it was inappropriate. And I would approach them in seventh and eighth grade and tell these girls these kind of things. But the girls knew I wasn't like that, and they kind of laughed because they knew someone else was telling me to tell those kind of things. So it was kind of like those guy friends were telling me to say those things just to kind of get a good laugh. I was on the bus in middle school where there was about 60 or 70 buses, a transfer spot where high schoolers and middle schoolers and elementary school kids would switch buses from their neighborhood to their school bus. I was in seventh grade. There was this cute eighth grader I found attractive. I didn't really know her. Actually, I did know her name at that time because she went to my friend's school. I approached her during the transfer. She had no idea who I was, and I approached her asking if she can be my girlfriend. I was kind of weird. Now that I think back at it, it's kind of weird and kind of stalkerish. At that time, I thought it was perfectly normal. She didn't even say no. She kind of walked off. I lied to my friends and told them that she said yes, and I pretended that that girl was my girlfriend for a few weeks, and I felt like that cool kid for the longest time. I really wanted that feeling of, hey, I have a girlfriend now. I told them back I told them a couple weeks later that I was just lying because I felt bad for lying. And then they went back to making fun of me, saying I would never have a girlfriend and that I'm ugly. But the people who are making fun of me for that reason are the same people who's never had a girlfriend before either. So kids are just being kids. High school came along. I wanted to be that popular kid. I wanted to have a girlfriend. I was on a mission. I started dressing nice. I had contacts. I started wearing cologne. I started getting these nice haircuts at barbers just to impress girls. But one thing I was still lacking was confidence. And I don't care who you are. If you're a good looking kid with no confidence, it doesn't matter. Confidence is sexy. Confidence is attractive for boys and men. Homecoming came along, my junior and senior year. I asked a few girls out in a group. They all rejected me in that group because I don't know if they didn't see me as a guy I can go to homecoming with, or I don't know what the deal was, but basically they saw me as just a friend zone pretty much. I was that kid who was in the friend zone. I had a few girls that were friends, but nothing but a friend. And that was it. When senior year in high school came along, I really wanted a prom date. I would ask a couple of my guy friends who had multiple girlfriends in the past, and I would ask them for advice. I asked this one girl to go to prom with me. She said yes, which I was ecstatic about, but I also liked her at the time. She rejected me. She made it very clear that it was just friends, but I still pursued it, still got rejected. But I had one of my friends give me pointers like, it was so stupid now that I look back at it. Like, go to the movies and start holding her hand at the right moment and look into her eyes. And he gave me all these different types of tips. Worked for him, didn't work for me. College came along. Now, college was a game changer for me, but I still had the same mentality going in that that no girls would ever like me. I was oblivious to girls liking me. Girls found me attractive at college. Girls thought I looked like Drake. And I was oblivious to girls liking me. I was in college, freshman year, I was in the dorm. 5, 6 years later, one of my friends on my floor would tell me, I stayed up late hanging out with some of my fraternity brothers when I joined. Girls would stay up late and wait for me to pass by, to go to my room just to look at me, just to say hi to me. And I had no idea that girls would actually do this and stay up late just so I can walk by. And sororities also had a list of top best looking guys in the fraternity. I was always on top of that list, had no idea, because I still had my middle school and high school mentality that no girls would ever go after me, that girls would always reject me, because I got used to girls rejecting me. In 5th grade, girl told me that no girl would ever like me. Guys and girls would always make fun of me in middle school for never having a girlfriend. My first girlfriend was summer before. Actually, I had a girlfriend long distance in high school that only lasted a week and a half. I don't really count that. But then my first kiss and girlfriend was summer before college. Someone I used to work with. I had no idea how to be a relationship. I was a horrible boyfriend that lasted only a month. But then my first real relationship happened the end of freshman year in college. And that's when my confidence started happening. When I started having multiple girlfriends, I started practicing, I started observing some of my other friends on how they talk to girls. What I realized is it really doesn't have to do anything with looks. You can be so-called this ugly kid, quotation marks, according to other people, called this ugly kid. But if you're this quotation mark, this ugly kid with confidence up the roof, then girls and ladies will go after you. Why? Because girls and ladies love someone who are proud of who they are. Don't be concerned about trying to be like someone else to try to get a girlfriend, because you might attract other types of girls because you're trying to be like someone you're not, but you're not going to attract the girls that you're meant to attract. For example, for me, for the longest time, I tried to be like someone I wasn't. When I first joined the fraternity, I started being this highly cocky individual. I cringe every time I look at my Facebook statuses now. I was trying to be like someone I wasn't. And I was attracting the wrong type of people. I don't believe in the term nice guys finish last, because I consider myself a nice guy. Just don't be a pushover. Nice guys do not finish last. I've had multiple girlfriends. I've been in multiple relationships in the past 10 years. And one of my mantras in life is treat people the way you want to be treated. And I'm always nice to people. I don't believe in guys being complete assholes. I do believe in teasing and nagging a little bit, because that's fun. That's considered fun. But I don't believe in guys being complete assholes. That's just my perspective. It's always worked for me, but I strongly believe that if you have goals, if you pursue your goals, if you know exactly who you are, you know exactly what you want, the right girl will come along. But you have to go out and attract those type of people. But don't get a girlfriend just to get a girlfriend, just to be cool. It might seem cool in the beginning, but in the end, you have to know what type of people you like. And that's going to come with a little bit of experience. That's going to come by dating around and meeting different types of girls or boys. That comes with an experience. But don't just have a girlfriend just to have a girlfriend. Don't act like someone you're not just to attract certain types of girls. Before I used to do that. Now I disagree when certain guys give me advice on how to talk to girls, because that's not who I am. I believe I'm a confident individual that knows what he wants and how he wants it. And if a girl rejects me because they don't like who I am as a person, then I'm okay with it. You should be okay with rejection. Rejection is not a bad thing. I consider rejection, whether it's trying to get a girlfriend or whether it's trying to get a sale in business, that means you're just one step closer to landing that perfect deal in business or getting the girlfriend you've always wanted that's perfect for you. Rejection is not bad as long as you're not trying to fake who you are. So, for all you boys who've never had a girlfriend in middle school and high school, or even in college, it's okay. Work on your confidence. That's the biggest thing I would say to work on. Because once you work on confidence, start approaching girls, start introducing yourself, not even to try to get with anyone. Just start introducing yourself, get that anxiety out of the way of saying hi to both boys and girls, get that social anxiety out of the way, work on your confidence. And I strongly believe once you approach a certain amount of people, that things will start to flow, that you're going to start attracting the right type of people. Do not give up if you've never had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And another piece of advice I can give you is don't take advice from everyone. I've made the mistake when I was inexperienced. I had no experience in having a girlfriend, and I would take advice from people who I thought knew what they were talking about, but actually hindered my growth and actually hurt my relationships. So just because you see other people with a girlfriend doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. If you really want advice from someone, don't ask people from our age. Ask other grown-ups who have had experience in a successful, the key word is successful relationship, and ask advice from them. Because if you ask advice from your friends, a lot of times your friends will give you wrong advice. I hope this helps. I really hope this helps for people who's never had a girlfriend or boyfriend, or who's never kissed a guy or another girl, or has confidence issues. Just know that you're not alone, and that this is only temporary, and that things will play out as long as you work on yourself and you work on your confidence. But stay tuned for my next episode where I talk about my anxiety issues and how I'm trying to overcome it. If you haven't done so, and if you so far enjoyed the first 2 episodes of my podcast, go ahead, rate the Teenage Impact podcast, comment on it. I really want this podcast to be ranked higher so it can impact more teens. If you're watching from Purpose Creates Impact, subscribe, comment, give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, peace.